So last year we opened it up. So you were part of it, right?
Yeah.
Benji was part of it. Even Benji was a second-year umpire. He's like, man, I wish I would have had this my very first year. So now that's what we're implementing. Brand new umpire, and if you had a year, you're also welcome to return. It's a 4-week training program that we'll just go through just all the fundamentals, some classroom stuff like one-man mechanics, and then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to graduate. So even within that same program, we're going to have a 2-man fundamental. It's like about 3-hour training for 2-man fundamentals. And that's really for the guys that are doing like a lot of summer baseball that, a lot of the tournaments that we do, it's 2-man. So we're trying to get everybody more on board as far as having the same foundation, because when you work with a lot more, different guys in the varsity level, guys tend to do things differently. So we're trying to kind of go back to basics and put everybody in the same plane. So we're all doing things more similar. And the purpose of that training is just to improve the quality of umpires that we're putting out in the summer, for the tournaments and stuff. And in the fall, in summer and fall, we're also going to have 2 different programs. It's going to be there's going to be 2-man fall training, which we actually did last year, me and Tim. This is just lower level guys that are trying to move up to the varsity level. Maybe they get a handful of varsity games, but they want the conference game, the big games. So now we're going to go ahead and do this fall training to get you to a better quality, varsity schedule and the bigger games. Then we're also going to have the advanced guys that are already doing varsity games, but now, okay, I need that next level of training so I can do postseason baseball. So basically, we're taking brand new umpires and to postseason varsity umpires. Beyond that, you can do what a lot of us in this room have done: is go ahead and go pay for the camps. Go to Springfield, Missouri, go to Indiana, go pay for the college camps if you want to advance. But as an organization, we don't want to charge anybody for anything that we do. So, we're providing free training for the brand new umpire. We're going to take you all the way to a postseason high school varsity umpire to be the best you can be. So I think Alan has some printouts. So tonight we're actually implementing.
Alan doesn't have to print out space. They're on his printer at work because he didn't have to go to work today because he had a snow day.
All right. Well, you know what? What I'm going to probably do is, I think starting Monday, I'm going to, after the clinic on Sunday at Belvedere, I'm going to start, sending out emails, Facebook posts. I'm going to start opening up registration links. So if you're a brand new umpire, we're going to invite you to go to the Cary Grove training. That's along the side the youth that we do. And then we're also going to do the 2-man training. Listen, that's going to be open for everybody. That's March 24th. That's going to be at Huntley High School. The youth training this year, we're moving to Cary Grove High School. So the 2-man training is just going back to basics, 2-man fundamentals, where we're just going to take you through some of the stuff that we do at the clinic, but it's going to be 3 hours long. Versus the clinic, you only get maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So we got to rush through it. We're going to go more in depth. And we're also going to have a classroom presentation, 45 minutes of the 2-man mechanics. So it's going to be more in depth, and that's open to everybody. So I don't care if you've been doing it 5 years. If you feel that, man, I need to go back and revisit my 2-man training, maybe relearn, maybe I wasn't taught right. Because listen, a lot of the varsity guys, we'll work with a certain guy that, like, oh, I've been doing 30 years. After the game, you're like, well, fuck, you've been doing it wrong for 30 years. Holy shit, dude. Don't tell me because, we get guys like, oh, I know what I'm doing. We don't need to pregame. Okay, dude. Then you get out there, you're like, oh, shit. It's just going to be one of those games because, they think they know everything, but they really don't. So this is just going back to basics, relearning 2-man training. Other than that, again, I'm going to start sending emails, Facebook posts. It's just register. If you're a brand new umpire, if you're a second-year umpire coming back, it's, revisit, because guess what? When you're a brand new umpire, you're going to go out there, you don't know shit. You're going to come back and you're going to be like, man, I should have taken more notes at the training. Maybe I should have gone to the training. Maybe I should have listened more. You learned a lot, but you got to revisit. And how do I redo my season? How do I get better?
Yeah, we got to be out of here at midnight.
So anyway, so that's it.
All right, so
No, I mean, they
So
lock
the-
the doors at midnight.
so the 2 years Rafi's been on the board, he's really doing our extra training, doing our on field in the gym training. We've gone, I mean, just the last 7 years, our training level has gone. I mean, the guys have been around for a while. I mean, 7-8 years ago, we had one clinic and one summer training, and that was it. And now we have 2 clinics. We have over 300 umpires at the clinic every year, between the 2 of them. And now all these different sessions. We're having an advanced camp, and we're going to have an advanced 2-man thing in camp in the summer as well. It's just really good, and it's all free. It's all included in your dues. So that, like Rafi had said, we don't charge anybody for anything. You know, we cover all those costs as part of what you get for being a member at FVB. So that's what we try to make ourselves better, make our association better by doing that. So, so we'll get started with Jeff. Oh, another thing too, all these training sessions are live on YouTube. So, you know, if you are wanting, anybody's looking for you, don't walk in front of the camera or stay in the back. But they are there for our guys that live. We do have like over 600 members now. So they live all over Chicagoland and way far south, or even, you know, in different states now, that would like to watch this stuff. So they'll be there. It'll also be on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, and it'll be there forever. So go ahead and turn it over to Jeff.
Thanks, man. Rafi, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
Oh yeah. No.
No. You sure? How about it? All right. So what you just saw right there, Alan and Rafi, is just, I mean, how many examples of mentoring did they just give you? There's no organization like this organization. There's just so much happening here for growth, and it's so exciting. All right, who's been to an awful presentation before? Yeah, come on. I went to a presentation a little while ago, and it was really important stuff. And the guy up front, he said, and honest to goodness, at about the halfway mark, I almost went up there and strangled him. I was like, dude, you suck as a presenter. Oh, okay. That's nice. That's good. That's good.
What you say, Jeff?
Yeah. So let's draw a line. Let's draw a line between the presentation and the material. All right, there's a difference between the presentation and the material. We got to know the difference. If you hate the presentation, that's okay, but don't lose track of it, because the material, as best I could put together my opinion of it, is value. Are you guys done with your clown act now? All right, I talked to JC, and anybody that disrupts this is going to get their JV schedule pulled. Okay?
That's Jesus Christ, by the way.
All right, come on. You're not here for the presentation, you're here for the material. If my material is good, then you can drop $5 bills right here on the table at the end. This logo, it means so much to me. It's been I'll throw 2 words out there. It's such an honor and a privilege to be part of this organization. For the exact reasons that Alan and Rafi just gave you, the growth, your professional growth. If you just want to be blue jeans with your shin guards on the outside and your hair backwards, or your hat backwards, like Rafi sometimes, other organizations are great for you. But if you want professionalism, if you want the top-notch program I mean, it's just so beneficial that you live in this area to be a benefit of FVB, then you've come to the right spot. This is the whole package of professional growth, this organization right here. This is everything from competency, professionalism, your appearance, your demeanor, your reliability, everything you handle in a professional aspect. FVB is going to help you provide that. I really almost challenge you to find any organization that's going to grow you like FVB. And if you notice, I didn't say umpire organization. I meant any type of organization that you enter into. This one is a premier for growth of you as a professional. Tonight's presentation for the younger guys, I teach PE and health. And for health, I say to my students, hey, you're in the danger zone. Danger zone for a young man, 14 to 22. risky behaviors of all types. Jumping, a 14-year-old kid will stand up on a rooftop and go, "Yeah, I can make that. I can clear that." You know that you as an adult know, dude, you can't clear that. Don't try it. But a 14-year-old to a 22-year-old, they're in the danger zone. So for you new umpires, you're in the danger zone of dropping out. You see it constantly about how much drop-off there is. Hopefully with a good program, we can keep guys in, and that's key. What did I do here, Alan? Okay. If you want the one on the left, you'll get it only through the one on the right. I think if you want to take your growth to the higher level, this last year I got my first regional. I was all charged up for that. JC helped me get it. The growth that I got from the FVB experience obviously gave me the ability to take a regional on the left. I was charged up for that. It's a great step for me. It was my first step for me on my road. Putting on that hat is a privilege. If you're a schlub, I mean, you're gonna get kicked to the curb. If you do things wrong, this organization will figure out a way that you're not going to be part of the growth for us. This is a team. It takes a team to grow the FVB persona. It takes you a team to get to it. We went down to Missouri, 9 of us, and we're all wearing our hats and we're all wearing our shirts. And the guys down there at that Springfield camp, the guys are coming up to us like, what does that mean? What is that you got there? Hey, you guys are all wearing the same hat. And we were going, well, it's an association that we're part of. And they were like, well, tell us about that. What's an association? These umpires didn't even have an association. They didn't have any growth. They didn't have any mentoring. They didn't have any infrastructure. They didn't have any common goals. They didn't have any clinics. Like Alan's talking about strings of clinics coming up. The Belvedere or the Wheaton, those are required attendances. Those are not, hey, make it if you can. You got to go to those because the growth is tremendous for you. You guys know, the veterans that have been here before, you know the value that's there. So if you want to learn, let's go. It's a cold night. You guys are dedicated to growth. JC knows who the young guys are. Bev knows who the young guys are. Alan knows who you are. So let's figure out what we're going to learn. Okay? What are we going to learn? Can you guys see? I'm going to blast through all of these tonight. We're going to go 1 through 5. New guys, paying attention. 6 through 10, we're going to handle them all. Interference, obstruction, force play. I mean, we got an hour, Ellen. By the time you get out of here, you're going to have a 100% lockdown knowledge of every one of these topics.
Until 9 o'clock.
Yep, 9 o'clock. We're good. So bottom line is when you walk out, you'll have a perfect understanding of the rules and the nuances of every part of these. Jason Santo does a nice interference obstruction. Mine is going to be a whole bunch better than Jason Santo. You tell him I said that too. Okay, force play slide rule, handling confrontation, verbal judo. You're going to be perfect on all of these. Alan knows who you are. He goes, hey, give him a little push. Let's make sure that these rookies get a little push tonight. So I threw in 5 more. So in our time tonight, we're going to be talking about all those, and you'll be perfect by the time we leave here, as well as these. Professionalism, 2-man mechanics. We're going to do a full 2-man mechanic tonight. And every one of these topics will be perfect by the time you leave here. Well, of course not. No, so if you want to get those topics, you got to talk to Doc Brown and Marty McFly here. Okay? Those are the guys if you want to get those topics. Because there's absolutely no way you can grow the what in a single session, in a single 5 sessions, in 10 sessions. The what takes you a career. You get veterans still talking about the nuances of every one of those scenarios that I just threw up there. It's not the what that you're after tonight. It's the how. Okay? So that's what I said. Alan asked me to be presenter. I'm not as good as Jason. John Muller, I think John's a little bit more knowledgeable on every nuance of rules than I am. Alan asked me to be a presenter. I said I can talk to the mentor-mentee relationship. because I have been the beneficiary of so many people mentoring me. You got a question, you ask them, everybody takes the time. We'll get to that. So that's what I'm after tonight. Number one. So this is a simple, I broke it down into like 4 slides. I'm not going to, it's not going to be a death by slideshow presentation, believe me, or PowerPoint, death by PowerPoint. We've all sat through those. I'll try not to do that. Everybody's got a question that they're unsure of. Every single new 2, 3, 4, 5-year guy has got a question that they're unsure of. So what do you do with that question? You just hang on to it? All right. Everybody's self-conscious about learning. It's just a natural part of being the person that's growing their way up. Well, this might just be my most important point of the entire thing is FVB is packed with guys who want to help the next guy up. It's just in the character of this organization to grow the person that wants to be part of something bigger than themselves. I really believe that about the character of the FVB umpire. They're trying to grow. FVB umpires want to get games with rookies, first year, second year guys. Now, not obviously the state championship game, but they want to get games with guys so they can help them grow. It's a big part of the character of the FVB umpire. I really believe that. The process of growing the next guy is a fun process. It's not something to be intimidated about. It's a fun program where you get to learn and you get to feel the growth going on within you, and it's a lot of fun. We got some crazy talented guys that can help you. Let's take it. We got Freddie Brock on the right, and that's Jeff Roars on the left right there. These are some talented guys up there. Well, you got a nice dress on there, Jeff. You're looking good, man.
Look at that right here.
Boom. This dude's got talent. All right. For the new guys, here come like the nuts and the bolts of how to get this thing done. The mentor-mentee, that's kind of a big topic, but how do you get it done and where do you get it done? Parking lots are the best, almost the best classrooms we've got for FVB. Finding time in parking lots before your game, after your game. How much have you learned putting on your gear at the tailgate? I mean, bet you agree with that?
Yep.
I think so. I think standing there pre-gaming, post-gaming, breaking down the play that you booted in whatever inning, pre-gaming is huge if you're in a 2-man crew. If you're in a 1-man crew and other guys are dressing in the parking lot,
Talk to yourself.
you can talk to yourself. I never do that. Yes, you do. No, I don't. If you're in the parking lot and you're running a single-man game and there's a 2-man crew, go over and introduce yourself. Don't be intimidated by that. Find out what's going on. Learn from those guys.
Excuse me.
Oh, great. No, it's down the hallway. It's
class on how to fuck up a little league game. What's 7 o'clock?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
How are you?
All right.
Room's down the hallway for you.
You're on, brother.
All right. So I was just saying that Jeff has got to be one of the nicest,
SOB.
truly most handsome guys. That's what was that? That's where I was at, right? Okay, relationships are built in parking lots. I think that you gain trust and you sit and you talk to guys and you learn a great deal at the tailgate. The 2-man, the post game. Rookies, you got to invest right there. It's time to go to the pub, and it's time for you to buy, and it's time to rehash what you've done right, what you've done wrong, get phone numbers, and that's how you build relationships right there.
You don't drink in the school lot.
You don't drink. I would not drink in the school lot if I were you. I think that would be a foolish move. Don't drink in the school lot. Of course not. I wrote texted, I hate to do a lot of stuff up here. These are just thoughts that I had. Texting after the game. Everybody's phone at 7 o'clock after games kind of explodes with guys texting each other saying, hey, I had this force play slide rule at second base at whatever game I was at, and guys talk to each other that way. Don't be afraid to reach out, find your relationships, grow your relationships, and text with each other and say, hey, how do I handle this one situation? Those really explode on game days. The other points are just examples, again, of how much FVB is growing through a mentorship program. The Timmy, Rafi, and Ed Hayes, and who else were you telling me that was helping you with the JVB program? I haven't been able to make it out for that.
We've got Johnny Hopshot, and we also have Mark Finstein, and Lino was out there. Donlin was out there, so there's a whole bunch of guys that
are investing in this organization. They're investing their time. The 2 main umpire camp that Rafi's talking about, Crystal Lake Clinics out here, no one else is doing this. Legit, no one else is doing the thousands of aspects of growing the next guy like FVB does. The Belvedere and the Wheaton clinics are amazing. You've got to attend those clinics for the newer umpires. You learn so much. There's a full slate of opportunities. You step up to the desk, you'll ask JC, hey, what should I do? And Jeff will say, what are you, a second-year guy? Listen, go to this one. Go listen to this presentation. And then in the afternoon, make sure you make that presentation. He's giving you the oversight. He's grooming you to be at the right speed at the right time. Go to the right presentations at Belvedere and Wheaton. FVB evaluations on the website is a huge link. I talked to Vince about it last night after I got off the phone with you. If you want an evaluation, if you're working your freshman game, your sophomore game, the next level is done. I mean, when you guys watch a major league game, do you watch the game anymore? No, you don't. I watch the footwork of the umpire and I think, how did he get in such an incredibly perfect position so fluidly? That's what I watch for sometimes. Yeah, how many times? It's boring watching the shortstop field a ground ball, throw it to the first baseman. After a while, he's like, I've seen that. Watch the umpires. So if you're on the field, whoops, Alan, what am I doing?
you ran out of ink.
Yeah, how about it? You can observe a lot by watching. The FVB Facebook site. Has everybody got that? Is everybody on the FVB Facebook site? It's like required reading. Would you go with me on this? Would you say that's an important site for mentoring? The FVB Facebook site is a indispensable tool. And this thing, now that we're coming into the season, this thing really blows up every night at 7 o'clock. Everybody, there's so many questions being posted on there. It takes a little bit of guts to put your question on there. Don't feel like it's a dumb one. Just put it on there. Hey, this happened and then that happened. And then there was a guy at third base. Did I do that right? And 40 guys will come back with their interpretations of it, and you'll learn. And then you'll be able to establish those individual relationships with different guys by this conversation. It's just go to Fox Valley Blues on Facebook and you'll see it. And then you got to ask Alan what has to happen here. You got to request. Alan, make sure you're a member in good standing and you're in. Okay? It's indispensable. It is such a valuable spot. As is this. Would you agree with me on this?
Yeah, because that gives you a
Nationwide perspective.
and it's funny how it differs regionally from California umpires to Texas umpires to Michigan umpires.
For the most part, Federation rules, a game in Maine and LA and Washington State and Florida should be almost adjudicated and officiated under the exact same rule set. Each state has got their different nuances, but this thing over the next 3 months will just become so active. One guy in New Mexico will say, hey, that's not the forced play slide rule. I don't agree with that at all. And 70 guys will jump in on them. We've got gentlemen on our in FVB board of directors or in the FVB that are administrators for this site. You got to. This is Umpire Federation Rules Baseball. You'll love this site. It's fantastic. What's that? No. This one is through. This one's through Alan. This is super important. You're going to be on this tonight before you leave here. This one, it's a closed group with 5,000 members. You got to. I don't know what hoop you got to jump through to get on that one.
Just find it and request.
Anybody know that? What's that?
You request it, you get on there.
Right.
As long as you don't do something stupid.
Okay. Now here's a rule for this.
Kind of like any site.
Yeah.
Here's a rule for this site. You just got off the field and you had a situation and you want to ask a question. You do not make a particular comment about the game. Hey, I was at Maine High School and Coach Tom. Don't. It's all got to be vanilla. This was a scenario. You can come up with the exact same scenario, but no names. No schools.
R1.
R1. Man, first don't say, yeah, Tom was pitching. I know his dad. We worked together. No. Just all vanilla. The pitcher, this happened, that happened. You can describe the scenario, but not the schools, not the names. That's key. What's that?
Facts only.
Facts only. Alan, anything I'm missing on that? Yeah, no politics, no trash talking, no profanity. Same with this. They don't want to know particulars. This is all scenarios. And you guys are about to start taking tests. They'll have test questions on here, and they really shy away from that. And you'll see people say, hey, don't post the test questions. What else did I have on there? Superman over here was just down in New Orleans. And you come out there, and the swamp is a brotherhood of guys sitting and talking about baseball. With Diet Coke, right? Diet Cokes are out there, and cheeseburgers. And you bring food, and you bring conversation, and you learn from the finest out there. You get a circle of chairs from me to these guys underneath a nice awning, and the conversations flow, and the learning really takes over. It's a tremendous step in your growth as a umpire, in your knowledge, professionalism. Okay? Not every mentor-mentee, Ellen, you know, not every mentor-mentee relationship goes smoothly. Some of them get a little bit rough. All right? Here we got Bane and Batman talking. Vince has got you by the throat there, Ellen. Sorry. All right, see, that's trying to keep away from death by PowerPoint. I'm just trying to keep it light, all right? All right. The second line down. I was talking to Rafi after I got off the phone with you. We were talking about a mentoring program that we were trying to figure out that Vince had already done, right? And I asked Vince his opinions of this, one of the top gentlemen in our organization. And he goes, the main thing is make sure that these rookies are not intimidated. Don't be afraid of reaching out. Don't be afraid of the growth that can happen. Reach out, be confident in yourself that you want to learn. I mean, nothing grows silently. You gotta, only a tree grows silently, is like what we used to say in education. You want to be able to reach out and be bold enough to take a chance for that. Okay? What's the mentor-mentee relationship going to do for you next time you take the field is you're going to be better prepared in so many aspects. You're going to be, number one, you're going to be more excited to take the field, pardon me. You're going to be better equipped, which builds confidence, which builds, it's going to help your timing. It's going to build your calmness on the field instead of fully jitters all the time when you're out there, which is natural in the early years. It's just part of the game. You're hyped that you're out there. Working with a mentor and carrying those thoughts with you is going to keep you calmer. The FVB has such a positive flow going on that we want to build the next Peoria guy, the next great state finals guy. It's within this organization. What do we have? How many guys last year? 6 out of 12 of the final of the state series in Peoria were FVB guys. 6 out of 12. Joliet. What did I say? Peoria?
One
I knew that.
possibility
I
is
just want to make
City
sure that you
School
knew
on
that.
North 10th Street in Phoenix. Is that the one you're looking
Where are
for?
you going now?
I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere right now.
Serious? Is this a ball or
About it, man. Help me out here.
This is a catcher? Okay.
Yeah, how about it? The positive nature of the mentor-mentee relationship is going to help you with your timing. The mentor is going to be straightforward with you. If you need growth in a certain area, he's going to give it to you straight. It's not all there for fluff. It's there to grow you, right? They're going to be honest with you. They're investing in you and the FVB. You know that it's a team element of growth. We grow together. I really think that this is a vocation. This is a skill set to grow that you can't do it yourself. I don't think that you can do all your freshman games by yourself and walk off that field thinking, man, I nailed that on my freshman game. If you want to grow, if you want to take it to the next level, it is a team approach. It's a mentor-mentee, and you can see all the aspects of it. You're not subservient in your relationship here. There is no put down. There is no I'm better than you. I know it all, and you don't know anything. That's not part of this organization, right? You can see that maybe Klipstein here is a little bit subservient to Java, right? Okay. You look good, man. You look good right there.
Mike looks good.
Dude, you been working out? All right. We know what the mentors, or pardon me, we know what the mentees can get out of a great mentor-mentee relationship. But it's a win-win for the entire organization as a whole when the mentors really do their work. Okay? There's no, someone that is willing to teach is quite possibly the most important part of almost any organization. We're talking about umpiring right here. We're talking about officiating. When you are a teacher in your own business, in your own vocations, you raise yourself up within that organization to a much higher status. And that's the backbone of any organization. How do you grow to the next level? If FVB is going to continue to grow, add clients, add high quality clients, and remain dedicated to excellence, then we're going to need mentors that step forward and really make sure that the next group of guys has got a role model, has got the pieces of knowledge that take place. So for you vets, it's a responsibility that you have to the organization. Okay. The mentee, we know what he gains. What does the mentor gain? He stays sharp, because you can get dull. Particularly. All right, you can get dull. You remain invested in the game, and you remain invested in your umpire organization. There's a continual education that's required when you become a mentor. You got to continue to stay sharp. You got to continue to read. You got to continue to learn. This reinforces your own game skills, I think. Steve Harms, one incredible mentor of mine. I text him at all the times. He'd call me back. We'd talk. He'd walk me through the rule, the nuances of the rule, the big picture, the small picture. Steve is an amazing gentleman. And I think he told me a couple of times, he goes, hey, it's great for him to have that love. You know, I was obviously asking the questions, but Steve, to be able to recite them back to me, it kept him sharp. It's a win-win for each person, and it's a huge win-win for the organization. The mentee gets the knowledge, the mentor stays sharp. Here we got Phil Papillo, and that's Mr. Miyagi and Daniel right there. Those guys are having fun together. There's Steve and Pastor Bill. And, you know, you get some great mentors. You even get some good friends out of the deal right here. Yeah, a little bit of payback there. Dumb and Dumber on the screen right there. You get some good friends out of the deal, too, as well. So you rookies, you get some good friends. That's all. I'm coming up on my end here, Alan. I only had maybe about that length of time. This is for the, this is almost like the backbone of the organization as a whole. All right. I think Phil knows what he's talking about. I think Phil was able to make things happen. The strength of the team is each individual member, and the strength of each member is the team. We can't do it. I truly don't think, in my opinion, that this is a officiating opportunity for you to do by yourself. I think you step outside your comfort zone and either be a mentor or be a mentee to the next crew coming along. Alan Stein is a strength and conditioning coach that I follow for I teach fitness and health in my school. And Alan Stein is a guy who I've come across. He's handling some big time clients now. And so now he's making more, doing it on the side as a motivational speaker. But he had this one on his site the other day, and I saw that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I kind of spotted that for the mentee. There's a lot of truth that goes into that for the mentee. Successful individuals do two things constantly. They ask questions and they listen, right? And my last one is for the mentor. A coach is someone who can give correction without causing resentment. A mentor can provide growth in an environment that the mentee is completely comfortable in and helps him grow. It's not a relationship that's a put down in nature. It's a positive relationship. And that's what I got. Any questions? Any input?
Hey, Jeff, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I look around the room here and you got mostly veterans, some rookies. Right? If I want to be a mentor, a veteran, how do I go about doing that to get back to FVB from all the?
Well, that's, you can help me out with the answer, Jeff. That's what I talked to Vince about last night. Because I called Rafi to make sure that I didn't miss anybody's names, Tim, when you were giving me those extra guys' names. I didn't want to miss anybody's names who was doing the JVB, who was doing the two-man clinic, who was doing all these steps of growth. I didn't want to miss anybody. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. And you said to me on our conversation, hey, wasn't Vince thinking about creating a mentor-mentee like pool that we could draw from where you guys could be assigned to each other? And Vince, it wasn't in place. He didn't have that lined up yet. So how could that be something that would be?
All right, there's a couple ways. Any rookies in the room, raise your hand.
Hey, be proud of it, man. Be proud of it. It's awesome.
Any guys who've been an FVB for 5-10 years who want to be a mentor, raise your hand.
Simple, right there.
Okay. In all my years of corporate America, where we had mentor relationships, the onus always went on the mentee. So if you guys want to be mentored, find a mentor. You guys, there's plenty in the room. Mentors, I put the onus on you guys to be the best mentor you can be. All right. Another great opportunity is the garage sale. Right, we know that at the garage sale that I'm having at my house in February and in March, there's going to be 50 rookies there. And there's going to be 20 veterans helping out. Great opportunity to grab a rookie, show them around, answer all the questions, form that mentor relationship. Right, so I want to encourage everybody, all the rookies in the room, who are coming to the garage sale to do that. Find a veteran, find somebody you're comfortable with, find somebody who you think personality melds well with you, and form a mentor relationship with that mentor. But it really falls on the mentee to ask the questions and do everything that a mentor-mentee relationship should be successful.
Okay, it falls on the mentee.
It falls on the mentee.
That means that the mentee's got to be not intimidated. You have to have, don't be discouraged if the guy doesn't text you back right away. You get off your game, you text him, all right, I'm going to step outside my comfort zone. I'm going to text this guy. I met him. Hey, what happens on this play right here? I think I kicked it. I think I did it right. If he doesn't get back to you right away, stay involved, okay? Don't be intimidated is one of the aspects that I had that Vince and I kind of really went off on a tangent last night. It's a great opportunity to continue to find your goals with your mentor and not be discouraged by little steps along the way. Go ahead.
This is my third year, right? I know that's just for the new guys. I still have several people I bounce up. There was one that I would call up with certain questions and talk to him because he's got a year more experience on me. But Jimmy Mack is who I would see at Walmart all the time. He's a veteran umpire, and I would ask him questions and blow by a scenario real quick, and he gave me a lot of feedback. It's just like you said, finding guys that you can have that conversation with just to run, because I may not be quite interpreting something, or he teaching me the nuances of how to handle certain situations. It helped me a lot to have somebody who is kind of at my level, maybe a little above my level, and then having a guys that started out with me to ask questions, and then somebody who was senior to me to go and ask them questions that were way out of where we were at. It just helped to have several different avenues. I'm still learning a lot.
You know what I'll do when I have a game and I have a question? I'll text it to Rafi. And then I'll text it to Steve at the same time.
To get the right answer.
Right, yeah, because you never know. You know, I wasn't gonna say it like that, Jeff. That's a great point to do it. You get your information from lots of sources. The website or the those two FVB, the FVB page and the Umpire Federation rule page. Instead of getting, you know, those 5, you get a text chain of 70, 80 comments. And you'll get guys posting the specific rule. And don't be afraid to write on there and say, hey, I had this happen to me the other day, and I don't know if I got it. If you could help me, that'd be great. Post and ask in your quote or in your question, hey, post the specific rule.
Find
Please.
the rule reference.
Find the rule reference.
Go back and dig in and read it again. Because you'll read it 5 times. You may not understand it until you have the situation, you experience it, you go back and read it, and now you look at the comments.
I just downloaded, I got it from Ump Bible, is the 2018. I don't know if the 19's out yet. The rule book, and you just put it on your screen. So you got all your little icons, and then one of them is the rule book. So when Rafi and I are talking about, when a pitcher, what are the regulations on a pitcher coming set? I can go find that language, and I can cut, copy, and paste it and shoot it at him, and him and I can have a conversation about, hey, what does the rule say about a pitcher coming set when pitching from the stretch?
Yeah, it's great too, because you can actually search. Yeah, we're trying to flip through the book, find things.
The national,
So you can
Federation.
search for terms.
And that's really important when you're having a discussion with a coach, because you always want to speak in terms of the rules.
Oh,
When you're talking to that coach, you want to speak in terms of the rules because it cuts those conversations.
you want to use the right verbiage.
You confuse them and they go away.
You use the
Well,
right.
when you speak truth, it's hard for them to argue.
Yeah, as far as the rookies, listen, you're going to learn that there's certain words that you use that a coach can't really argue. Coach, in my judgment, such and such happened. Can't really argue my judgment.
Right. By rule.
By rule.
Yeah, you throw that
like
sentence
my
in there first,
judgment,
coach,
by rule.
coach, by
There's certain
rule,
things that
and
use
then you
that-
know the rule. You say, hey, coach, by rule. Now his like,
But that goes back into understanding. You gotta get your nose into the books.
And as far as the mentor, the program is something that maybe I'll talk to Jeff about later, about maybe developing a more structure to where we could possibly
match
I
guys
can't
up.
remember that if that's what we talked about is actually getting guys to sign up as mentors and maybe posting a mentor list. And we get those guys, what we do is maybe we get those guys to commit to every year to take three mentees. So if we have 20 mentors and each takes 3 of them, this way you're not you're not getting bombarded by 10 different guys, but maybe we have more of a structure along with our training program where we got guys assigned as mentors, and your commitment is for the whole year is to take up the 3 mentees. And if they call you, you're committing to respond to them. So we're not getting one guy getting bombarded by 10. Divvy it up, whether it's regional or whatever it is. Maybe we'll have a list available on our website of mentors, and you can maybe reach out to them. And maybe once they're full, they'll no longer be on that list. But these are like available mentors that you can reach out to.
Yeah, and I want to call out to all the veteran umpires in the room. So, I want all you guys to step up and be mentors. And I want to create a little exercise here. And I'm going to call some of you veteran guys out, and I want to know who your mentor is. And I'm going to start with you, Mark Zeitler. Who's your mentor?
I have an open book with Phil Papilla, Shane Cannon, any of the umpires that I work on a regular
Philly and
basis.
Shane, great umpires. Rafi, how about you?
I've got guys like Chris Avila,
You got guys like John Muller. You know, I got guys like Mark that just, you know, and what I like to do is, you know, this because with me personally, once I've gotten to know guys, I know what their strengths and weaknesses might be. So I'll go to one guy on you know, the understanding of mechanics. Maybe I'll go to a different guy on the understanding of the rules, and not just the rule, like, you know, like even like John Muller, I'll send him a text or I'll you know, call him, and it's like, well, Rafi, the way he explains it, I understand it. Like, well, back in 1938, such and such guy used
All right,
to
man.
this.
All right. It was a yes or no question
About it.
Jeff, who are your mentors?
Oh, Steve Harms, without a doubt.
Okay.
Steve, I worked a two-man game with
Dude, yes or no questions.
Steve Harms.
Scott Kelly. Mike Dermis. Good one. Jim Jablonski.
Well, I started out with Rafi, then I went to Ted Seven.
Wow, downhill from there.
It says something about Rafi.
Mentors.
It's Philly Papillo, and I've reached out to Rafi a few times, and Johnny Muller.
Okay, Chris.
Johnny Muller with the real tough questions on that, if not John Holmstrom for general stuff.
That's awesome. So you're starting to hear some names of some veteran guys. So all you veterans in the room, you know, if John Muller was here, if Steve Harms was here, they'd be honored to hear that you guys are their mentors, right? That they're your mentors. So what I want to do is I want to encourage all you guys, take some of the younger guys in the group and just do that. Next time you work with a young guy, whether it's a game day tournament, a first varsity game, something, create that relationship, right? Leave it up to the mentee to come back to you, but create that relationship where they can look back at you when they become a varsity umpire and say, wow, I owe it all to Benji Winkleman, who was there for me when I worked my first varsity game. So try to be in that situation, because that's pretty special. You know, to hear John Muller, and I could have gone around the room and I would have heard John Muller's name 5 more times. You know what I mean? Be that guy.
Okay, now how about if the rookies, obviously we're talking about the mentor-mentee. How about if 2 younger guys have a question? And is it cool for those guys to text back and forth?
Absolutely.
Of course, you're building your network, you're building your friendships, you're building your brotherhood. You don't have to always aim for the top dudes like Muller and Steve, but talk to each other. Say, hey, I think I screwed this up the other day, or hey, man, I got this right, or hey, I asked that guy for a question and he gave me a great answer from it. Your circle of influences can be at your own peer, at your own levels, or at the top mentor levels. What else we got?
What time do you get my text messages at?
What's that?
What time do you get my text messages at? 5:30 in the morning?
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
So
Chris?
you mentioned something here. One thing also we can do is, I can be more of a veteran umpire. How to get there, but anyways, is when the young guys are there with you, ask them, hey, if you ever have questions, send them my way. If I don't have the answer, I will get the answer for you. Because I had Greg Page, I had him a couple of years ago at a game. All of a sudden he starts texting me things. Because I simply opened up and said, if you have questions, just give me a call. You go, dude, that guy was pretty straightforward and strong. I don't know why he's asking me questions. But he would. So did Chris Layla last year was doing it with me as well. And they only started doing it, I think, asking me questions. Because I says, if you send me any questions, I'll give you my input as best as I can. And I was always positive with them, saying, God, man, you're doing a great job. Because that's the first thing they want to know, I think, is be positive with them. Tell them you're doing great, a minor tweak here, and you'll be even better. And that's what I try to do. And
Yeah,
open it up.
the conversation you have with a mentor, it's not like he's going to give you 40 things to take on the field with you the next game. Because you just can't absorb that. He's going to give you 2 or 3 that you want to work on, and you'll be out there, and that 2 or 3 thing will happen, and you'll be like, whoa, I just had a conversation with Rafi about that topic, and it just happened, and I got it. Or, man, I screwed it up again. And that is the opportunity to learn. Conversation, the real-life practice, and you'll be thinking, whoa, hey, maybe I can do this thing. But go ahead, Mark.
We've all made the mistakes. Absolutely, we've made it. Okay, if you don't believe it, ask Rob. I've made them. okay? But you're gonna learn. You don't make that same mistake twice. Okay, and that's the most important thing, is not making the same mistake.
So, as it works varsity games, if you work games where the freshman field's nearby or sophomore field's nearby, talk to those guys too. I still remember working a game at Dundee Crown, and Pat Bissell, Mark Carter were on the other. I was working with Pat, or I was talking with Pat before the game. He went to work their game, they were done in about an hour, 15 minutes, and my game went 2.5. He stood there for half an hour, wrote all these notes out. He didn't wait for me, but he put it under my windshield wiper so I could read it on the way by. Gave me his home phone number. I don't think he had something like that. Called him and he went over it. And just little things like that. And I still remember, 18 years later, remember those things. Little things like that will help. Seek those guys out in the parking lot. Like very essential. When the freshman game going down, 5 miles down the way, and you're right there. Find them there, talk to them, and help them out. And makes a big difference.
Like what I said in the beginning, of parking lots are classrooms. Parking lots are great opportunities to sit, get the name, get the relationship growing, and listen to maybe a 2-man pregame, or just have a conversation about, hey, can you guys help me out? I kind of screwed up a rule last week, or just get a feel for it. Now teach your professionalism, which is tremendous.
I'd also say, in some cases, you want to get a couple of sources of input. I remember that a couple years ago, there's an interpretation rule. They had John up there, he had Jeff up there. They both had a different insight on a particular column. And one said, if you want to be technically right, the other one said, if you want to be practically right.
What was that, 1099 on it? What was the
But understand
yeah, there you go.
Spirit of the rule.
Spirit of the rule versus the nuance.
Understand the nuances, yeah. Because, it's pretty important.
One thing too, like for looking for a mentor, Jeff and Jim are not the best too, because they're, especially during the signing season, Jeff is up to his ears in signing games. It might be a while to get an answer back. He's not going to go. Whoever else must be. But yeah, but seriously, like, find somebody else. Like, go to them to ask for maybe somebody to go to. But I would, say, don't go down that path. You're got filters for you.
Gotta remember too, guys, back to the parking lot. Most varsity officials are gonna be on site 45 minutes to an hour, unless you're Kevin Brophy. You're gonna be there 45 minutes to an hour before the game to, just to verify your shoes are shined, to make sure you know the coaches' names, all that stuff. So we're gonna be there early. Look us up, search us out. You got a question? Ask it.
Have the rookies felt like they've been able to make relationships? What are you guys, 2, 3, 4 years in? You feel like you've been able to make some relationships with peers at your own level as well as with higher level guys? Good. Yeah, that's
evolving over time. In the first year, you're by yourself a lot. So you do that. You find varsity umpires in the parking lot. You kind of just listen. Try to absorb as much as you can. But then the second or third year, you finally get a few more partners and start to build relationships and you're more comfortable and you start to know more people. So it kind of evolves over time. Your circle kind of grows a little bit.
your circle grows.
I think the tournaments, when you do the games, the tournaments are where you have more contact because you're doing more 2-man. You're where the guys are associated.
Yep.
Not the meeting like that. I think otherwise you're 1-man.
Just another piece in the puzzle. I mean, you saw Alan and Rafi talk at the beginning. There's so many moving parts to this organization, all with growth as a target. I just can't. I'm so thankful that I'm part of this organization. Anybody else have questions? Topic that I want to talk about? All right, that's all I got, Alan.